Hey everybody, Mr. Balker here. I'm going to cover our lesson for Amplify for today. This one is Unit 8C, Subunit 1, Lesson 11. This one is called Planning and Preparing a Reading. Ideally, we would be in class and we would be rehearsing, and you're going to actually read a section of the play to other people. And that'll allow us to focus on tone, pace, voice control, and all those things so that you can convey a message well. Unfortunately, that ain't gonna happen because we're all at home, except for me. So, what are we gonna do instead? Well, we're gonna look at the two sections that the narrator can read, and we're gonna compare the way that the two things are read, okay? So all you're gonna wanna do is go here to number 3. This is the part that I'm gonna grade. And you've got 3 different slides here. All you need to do is hit play on this first bit. It takes 2 minutes and 45 seconds. I'm going to do it right now. We'll listen to it and I'll come back.
In the early part of the year, 1838, I became quite restless. I could see no reason why I should, at the end of each week, pour the reward of my toil into the purse of my master. When I carried to him my weekly wages, he would, after counting the money, look me in the face with a robber-like fierceness and ask, "Is this all?" He was satisfied with nothing less than the last cent. He would, however, when I made him $6, sometimes give me cents to encourage me. It had the opposite effect. I regarded it as a sort of admission of my right to the whole. The fact that he gave me any part of my wages was proof to my mind that he believed me entitled to the whole of them. I always felt worse for having received anything, for I feared that the giving me a few cents would ease his conscience and make him feel himself to be a pretty honorable sort of robber. My discontent grew upon me. I was ever on the lookout for means of escape, and finding no direct means, I determined to try to hire my time with a view of getting money with which to make my escape. In the spring of 1838, when Master Thomas came to Baltimore to purchase his spring goods, I got an opportunity and applied to him to allow me to hire my time. He unhesitatingly refused my request and told me this was another stratagem by which to escape. He told me I could go nowhere but that he could get me, and that in the event of my running away, he should spare no pains in his efforts to catch me. He exhorted me to content myself and be obedient. He told me if I would be happy, I must lay out no plans for the future. He said if I behaved myself properly, he would take care of me. Indeed, he advised me to complete thoughtlessness of the future and taught me to depend solely upon him for happiness. He seemed to see fully the pressing necessity of setting aside my intellectual nature in order to contentment in slavery. But in spite of him, and even in spite of myself, I continued to think and to think about the injustice of my enslavement and the means of escape.
So in that reading right there, you can really feel him getting into the character's head, right? He's thinking about escape. He sounds kind of like devious. He speeds up a little bit. He's a little quiet, right? He's giving you the idea that this is something that we certainly know he's not allowed to do, but that he's going to do, right? When you read something, putting the thought process of the person that wrote it, of the narrator, putting it into your voice and into your head makes it more real, and it allows you to get a better understanding of it. That's the point of this. I'm not going to play the second one. All you need to do here is, when you listen to it, how did the pronunciation of the words, how did the tone, inflection, how did it change maybe what you thought about what was going on there? If you read the whole thing flat and monotonously, it would have a different meaning to you. Answer that little question right here. Second thing, on this exact same one, what was his tone, what was his pace, and how much did those choices impact what you understood about the speech? When you're finished there, go to slide number 3, and all you have to do is hit play on this one. It takes another minute 43, and answer, what do you think about the tone and the rating of the second clip? How do you think the tone and pronunciation changed between the first and second clips? I'll give you a hint, guys. In this last clip here, he starts off with the idea of him being free. I was now my own master. How do you think his tone's going to be? Depressed? Certainly not. So hit play on that, listen to the clip, and then answer those questions. That's it. That is the third assignment for this week. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I will see you soon.